Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Stoverload Music Podcast. Now, I know Saturday I just brought you guys a new artist, and I like to keep the hitters coming, but I'm bringing you a bonus today. And I really, really encourage you to go check out this band's album, Bloodwork, because I've been listening to it all afternoon. And I did that not only because I think they're badass and I think they're really that good, but also because I have one of the members with us today. I want you to give it up for Mr. Paul Crosby and give it up again for the badass band Coldwards. Paul, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, man. First of all, there's always a weird misconception of the name, but it's actually pronounced cold words, like cold words.
Okay.
However, you are slightly correct, though, because when we first named the band, we did pronounce it Coldwards. And then we decided as a band to change it to Coldwards, and never really put that out there. So just wanted to clear that up.
Well, thanks. As long as I'm not looking, okay, yeah, I'm the idiot, but I guess I wasn't.
Actually correct. But yeah.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations on that album, Bloodwork. I mean, that's gotten a pretty positive response, and the music really speaks for itself.
Appreciate that. Yeah, man. We put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that record, and the funny thing is when we were writing that record, we really didn't know we were writing a record. It was kind of just me and some friends and my sons kind of just writing music together to get through the COVID-19 lockdowns. We were kind of just doing it for the fun of it. And then it morphed into a full-blown band and album.
When you guys released the first single off of it, how did you know that, yeah, we got to release this album? I mean, it's good. People like it. People want it. But what kept you guys motivated to keep pursuing it and bring it out?
Well, as we would write more and more songs, we started kind of having a light bulb come on going, hey, man, this stuff is really good. You know what I'm saying? So we shopped it to some labels, and then we got signed by Wake Up Music Rocks and just started releasing singles, man. And it just kind of grew legs on its own, morphed on its own. And that just instilled in us, hey, let's just pursue this full time as a band. And now we're we're about to release our first single of our second. This one's going to be an EP, but we're about to be in our second album cycle. So pretty pumped.
If it's anything like the first one, this is going to be one hell of a banger. And to all the listeners out there, this is one of those bands that you want to go and follow. If this is your type of music, your type of style, get on it. You won't be disappointed.
I appreciate that, man. We definitely put all of our energy and our hearts and souls into this music. So we're pretty pumped about it.
As you should be. I mean, and it sounds like, besides your background coming from your work with Saliva, and I'm sure a lot of the other guys have their own backgrounds. How long did it take for you guys to realize that the chemistry and the brotherhood has really brought about something special?
Probably about 6 months into just, the COVID-19 lockdowns and stuff, as we were just writing songs and ideas and throwing them back and forth, man. It just started kind of making sense. Like, man, this stuff's really good. And then, we would send it out to people that we trusted to get their opinions. And they're like, man, this stuff is like really good. So we just decided to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it's so good to the point, like, this is the kind of music you expect to see or you would like to see in almost any kind of major motion picture, whether it be sci-fi or horror or action. This is the kind of music that would fit.
I agree, man. It's got something for everyone, man. Obviously you listen to our debut album, Bloodwork, and it's kind of a roller coaster ride. It fits a bunch of different formats and kind of almost genres too. So everything from acoustic, an acoustic track to ballads to hard, heavy rockers, so.
And you guys have
to everyone.
And I love the variety. Like you said, it's a roller coaster. You're giving everybody something different. You're not sticking to just one format.
That's it. When we write, we don't write, based off of one goal. We all just write what comes out naturally, and we just go with it. We don't try to set out to write one genre or any specific follow any specific guideline or format. It's just what comes out of us.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I know a lot of artists too during COVID-19 pandemic, they had nothing but time to write and make music. Do you find times like that good as an artist, or do you find that to be a hindrance as an artist?
Well, it's a double-edged sword, because it's good because you have time to just focus on just writing, but it's bad because you don't get to go play shows and do all of the other things that you like to do as an artist. As far as generating new music from a bunch of our favorite bands, that it was a good thing, but that's about it.
Yeah, but it looks like there was a lot of good that came out of it, though. I mean, was there a lot of trial and error during that time? Like, okay, I wanna produce this. This can wait. How did you guys pick and choose what you wanted to go with?
Man, like I said, for us, it was just almost like it was meant to be. It just every idea just got better and better. And I think there's 10 songs on that album, and I think that's the exact amount of songs that we wrote for it. So we didn't have to, decide which ones were going to go on it and which ones weren't. It just ended up there being 10 songs at the time.
I can't imagine how quick of a reaction you got from listeners from around the world with this music. I mean, has it been overwhelming for you or surprising?
I don't really put expectations on anything. I'll tell you that we are honored and happy about the response. That it's been very well received, and we're pretty pumped about that. We all just knew that the music was good, and I think if the music's good, it'll translate well. So
yeah, and it's really cool too, because your sound doesn't have that stereotype, like this is what all bands sound like from this genre. You guys don't fall into that category at all. As someone, I don't want to say a new band, but this is your second album, so I guess the adventure's still going. How do you stay away from that? How do you stay away from the stereotype when it comes to how you sound compared to what people expect?
Well, I think one part of it is there's 5 people in the band. 2 of them are my sons. We all like different. We don't all listen to the same thing. Each person in this band has completely different tastes in what kind of music and genres they consume. So that kind of helps keep it interesting, because we're not all, if we were all just complete metalheads, it would probably be just complete metal. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that helps with the distinction of that. But again, like I said, we don't ever go, okay, let's write a song like this, or that sounds like that, or that sounds like this band. We literally just write what comes out naturally and send our ideas in. And if something clicks, we just run with it, and it just kind of writes itself. So, but I think the biggest part is that we all are into completely different. If you looked at each of our playlists, you'd be, they're completely different. So I think that helps a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's good to be open-minded, because I think music is one of very few places and one of very few things we have nowadays that encourages people to be open-minded and listen and check out new things.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
So I know with your background, you've been doing the music thing for quite a while with your time back with Saliva as the drummer and all, and now Coldwards. I'm trying to find the right way to word this. The use of streaming apps and things like that, has that been a benefit, or has that been more of a, great, now I got to work harder?
Well, my take on streaming apps is, it's the way music is consumed now. So it's a necessary evil, I guess. The downside of it is they're making money off of all of the artists' work, right? And giving us peanuts, less than a peanut. But the upside is that anybody can release music now. That's also kind of a downside too. But it gives everyone who may not have had access to get their music heard access. that part of it's good, I guess. But I mean, I personally still miss the days where you went and bought an album, a CD, and you popped it in and you listened to the whole thing. And, you know, now everybody just does singles. And I mean, I'm on the fence about it, I guess. But like I said, it's a necessary evil. It just
Right.
kind of is the way it is. And so you just go with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can relate. You know, me being 43, I grew up through the cassette tape phase. Then we went into CDs, and my parents had 8 tracks, you know, and
Yeah,
the good old fashioned days of listening to the radio to find out what's new and what's hot. And that's what drove you to go to the store and buy the CD. You know,
absolutely.
and people forgot. And to the listeners, please understand it's cool to use streaming, but use these tools to help encourage you to go buy the album. You know,
Absolutely.
don't
Yeah.
settle for streaming.
Yeah. I mean, you can still on streaming apps, you can still listen to full albums front to back. I think that's kind of like I said, man, I just remember the days of getting a band's album that I like and listening to every song on the album versus just scrolling through single from this band, single from that band. So younger listeners, I would definitely encourage to your favorite bands, go to their Spotify or Apple Music page, but listen to the whole album as a whole, because usually when bands create full albums, which is becoming more and more rare these days, it's a whole piece of artwork. It's meant to be consumed as a one piece, you know?
Right.
So
Yeah. You know, and overall, the whole point of getting these albums is to drive you to go see the bands play, go to the show. And, you know, I can't imagine what a Coldward show is like.
it's pretty intense. Definitely would encourage people to come check it out whenever. We're planning on getting some more shows on the books this fall and supporting this new release. Definitely come check it out. I think you won't be disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, fans. You heard it right there. And I keep telling you guys, I've been saying this since 2020. Go to a show. It's an experience you're never going to forget. You don't have to live through your phone to do it, and that's another thing too, is people just living so bi-curiously through these concert performances when you could easily go there and be a part of it.
Yeah, and you're not going to get the full spectrum of the sound looking at it on your phone. And the other thing is, although writing and recording music, making records, and all that good stuff is us as artists enjoy it, but really our favorite thing to do is to play shows in front of, you know, crowds of people. So definitely don't miss out on that. And you're never going to get the full experience of a live show on your phone. I promise you that.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the greatest things that you can get from going to a show is when you wake up the next morning and your head's pounding, you can't hear anything barely, and you got a ringing in your ear and your neck is sore, your body is sore because that was from rocking out and the music being really loud. It's the best feeling you'll have.
And you got no voice. Don't forget about that one.
Yeah. Yeah. That's always a fun part. So with you guys doing shows now and Bloodwork's doing so well. What song do the fans resonate with the most that they love to sing along with?
Our last single from the record's called Whirlwind. I think that one has been as far as shows that we've played, that one's went over the best. As far as an album track that we don't necessarily play live, I think one of the more popular ones is Stained on You and I Told You So, because those are probably the two heaviest songs on the record. Whereas
Yeah.
Whirlwind's more of a mainstream. It's still heavy, but it's more mainstream radio type. But that's the one I think is the highest demand at a live show.
It's always got to be awesome for a band, you know, just to get a charge off the audience, singing louder and just being in sync with you. And then you could step back and just let them sing for a minute or two and preserve your voice a little bit.
Absolutely. That's never a bad deal.
Yeah. Now, I understand because of this new release coming out on Friday, you guys have a special going on with this regarding the pre-save for all the listeners and new listeners. Elaborate a little bit.
So we are giving away a autographed Ibanez electric guitar for anybody. If you go and pre-save our new single, which is called Bad News, you're automatically entered to win the guitar, the autographed guitar. It's a pretty dope guitar. You can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Coldwards, COLDWARDS, and you can hit the pre-save link. And once you do, your email will automatically be sent in, and we will be picking a winner after the release.
Now, how are they able to verify or show you that they have pre-saved? Because I've wondered about this too. I see a lot of people doing that. Did they have to screenshot or something like that?
No, we have it set up to where when they preset, because like your Spotify or Apple Music or whatever, it's registered to your email. Like you have to have an email to sign up. So whatever email is registered to your account, it automatically puts it in a program. And then at the end, it'll show us all of the emails or all of the accounts that have pre-saved. And then we're going to randomly pick one from that.
Now, that's pretty cool. That is really cool. And I can't imagine right now you guys doing something like that. And how many prodigies are coming out the woodwork at such a young age? Who wouldn't want a free guitar right now?
Absolutely. It's a very cool guitar. There's actually a picture of it on the on our band page as well. So you can check out the guitar that you would potentially be winning if you go there. And while you're there, make sure you follow our band page, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We released 4 singles from Bloodwork, but we have 5 videos from songs from that record. So you can check out those videos while you're on our YouTube channel as well to hold you over till next Friday for the release. And also on Thursday, we'll be releasing the video for the song. So the day before the release of the single. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you can set a reminder and watch the premiere of the video the day before, which will be Thursday, I believe, at 6:30 p.m. Central. So you can actually hear the song and see the video before the song actually releases.
That's pretty cool. And you guys, like I said, I saw the video for Stained on You, and that song was badass. I mean, within the first 30 seconds, you just get pulled in.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
You know, and I love the sound you guys produce because I just want to see someone take the concept from Rock You Like a Hurricane from Scorpions, take that concept with the band inside of a steel cage and all your fans around it just shaking the cage, singing along. We don't see that anymore, and I'd love to see you guys do that. I think it'd be perfect.
I'll definitely keep that in mind. We're going to be shooting a video probably the beginning of September for what will be our second single from the new EP. So maybe it might work for that.
Hey, we're full of ideas on this show.
That's right.
Well, we're at a point in the show right now. We like to do a little something special. We call it The Floor is Yours. And I give this time to all our guests. If they want to send a special message or want to give a shout out to someone or both, what would you like to tell
them? That question's for me, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's hard for me.
I know sometimes people get put on the spot, you know.
I just wasn't prepared for that. I mean, if they want to, I don't know. Sorry, man. You lost me on that one.
Well, fans, if you find their page and you subscribe and follow, I'm sure you'll find a lot of cool stuff on there and some words of wisdom or advice or something nice to say or whatnot on their pages. So please, by all means, go find this band, subscribe, follow, get involved with that raffle and win yourself a guitar. That's a hell of a treat right there.
Definite, man. I wish, like, you know, when I was younger and stuff, bigger bands that I liked, they didn't really do stuff like that. But, you know, of course, without the internet and all that, I'm sure it made it a lot harder. I mean, they would give away stuff, but not like autographed guitars.
Right. Like guitar picks, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am wondering, though, are you guys ever going to incorporate the double neck in the near future? Because I don't see anybody really rocking those anymore.
Yeah, I don't know, man. All of the stuff that we do is on baritone guitars, so they're longer scale. They probably make a double neck baritone. I'm not sure. You'll just have to stay tuned and find out for yourself on that one.
It's always cool to see the old school come back in a whole new way.
Absolutely.
Well, fans, you know what I always say. All good things must come to an end. And unfortunately, we've hit our mark here today with Mr. Paul Crosby. But Paul, thank you again for coming on, and best of luck with the new release. You guys are doing a phenomenal job, and you kicking some major ass along the way.
Appreciate that, man. And thank you so much for having me. We're pretty pumped to see how well received this new stuff is.
Well, if you were surprised already with what you've already done, imagine what's coming.
We're definitely hopeful.
Very cool. We'll be following. You got our support. So anything we can do to help you out, just say the word.
Appreciate that.
Well, you heard it here, fans. You heard it here first. Friday, bad news, new release. Go pre-save, catch the video, get on board and be part of the Coldwards train. What's the name of your fan group? I'm sure every band has a name for them. What do you guys call your fan group?
We haven't, believe it or not, we haven't got that far yet. So we're not. I'm not sure about that one yet. We're going to be starting a fan group Facebook page too soon. We'll have to get creative with that because a lot of all of the cool names are taken so far, so to speak. So maybe we'll let the fans decide.
Yeah. Hey, that's another competition right there.
There you go.
Whoever wins the first one gets a free t-shirt.
There you go.
Well, fans, all the time we got today with Mr. Paul Crosby of Coldwards. Damn it, this is hard to get. Sorry about that. I'm getting mixed up a little bit here. It's really hot up here, by the way, in my defense. Anyways, follow the band, keep up with them. Until then, I'm your host, Mike Stover. This has been Mr. Paul Crosby of Coldwards, and we're out.